Hello everyone, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Thank you so much for joining me today on my channel where I love to bring you my best tips and tools to inspire you to create beautiful home decor on a budget. Today I'm back with 5 more quick, budget-friendly Christmas home decor DIYs for you. So with all that being said, let's get crafting. For today's first DIY, we're going to make these palette farmhouse ornaments using the mini palettes from Dollar Tree, some wooden beads, and these Christmas ornaments that say Noel, peace, and joy. So the first thing I'm doing is taking a baby wipe and I'm going to do Waverly's Antique Wax all over these mini palettes. This is going to be our base color, and then we're going to distress them. So using the baby wipe, getting in each of the little cracks there so that every surface is covered with the antique wax. Now, once that antique wax is completely dry, I'm taking a chippy brush and my white Waverly chalk paint, and I am just doing some brush strokes of white over the antique wax. You can do as little or as much of this as you'd like. And then once this is dry, we're going to sand it and distress it even more. Now I wanted some black beads for these ornaments, so I'm taking this wood bead wreath from Dollar Tree. I counted out how many beads I wanted, and actually this is a really easy way to paint them because they stay pretty firm on the wire wreath form. So just go ahead and you can see it does take a little bit of time, but having them on the wreath really does hold them still and you're able to paint them. Once our palettes are dry, like I said, I'm going to take my little sander and I'm going to blend in some of those streaks. I'm going to sand away the paint from some of the edges and just make these look a little more farmhouse and distressed. Next, I'm going to take some jute twine that I've doubled over and I'm going to put some tape around the edge. I'm going to tie this on either side of our palette once I have some beads on there. So putting the tape on the end, I'm going to tie one end and then add my beads and then tie the other end to make a beaded hanger for each of these palette ornaments. And there's our beaded hanger. I believe I did about 10 beads. You could probably do 8 and maybe have the beads be not quite so tight. Then just trim your little ends of your jute twine. Now I'm going to take one of each of these ornaments. I actually ordered a case of these a couple Christmases ago, so I have a ton. They come with this little, I don't know what you would call this, pick at the top that has some greenery, some plastic pine cones. You can use these, that's what I'm gonna use, or you could add your own greenery to the top. This one was just falling apart, so I had to rewrap it. You can see I do have some red floral wire there. I am going to wrap these a little bit tighter because if I am going to sell these in my craft show, I wanna make sure they're not going to fall apart. So basically for these ornaments, now what I'm going to do is glue the word on and then glue and wrap with wire the little pick at the top. And the final touch, just to add a little bit more farmhouse and to cover up the red floral wire, is just to make a tiny black and white gingham bow for the top of each of my ornaments. And here is finished DIY number 1. These would make great decor and also a very nice lower dollar item for your holiday craft show. If you're stopping by my channel for the first time today, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. I sure hope you like what you see and you'll consider sticking around by hitting that subscribe button. To all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for your continued support of my channel. I hope everyone will take a second, tap that bell icon or the 3 dots. Make sure your notifications for my channel are set to all, so YouTube should let you know when I upload a new video, go live on my channel, or post something in our community tab here on my channel. For DIY number 2, I'm going to show you how to take some mini grapevine wreaths and some wood letters from Hobby Lobby and make a really cute, inexpensive wall hanging. So these came 4 in a pack for $5.99 retail at Hobby Lobby. So when they're half price, $3 for a pack of 4. I am only going to use 3 of these, so one you can just set aside. Then I'm taking these tall, skinny wood letters from Hobby Lobby that I also like. We're going to spell the word joy, and I'm going to give these a coat of my Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern. I thought this color green, well, first of all, is so beautiful, and it matches the green in the ribbon we're going to use very well. So give each of your letters a coat of the paint and set those aside to dry. So here's the fun, whimsical colored ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. You'll notice in this video, some projects I do more bright and colorful, some are more neutral and farmhouse. I had decided that I wanted to wrap my grapevine wreaths in this ribbon. So I did measure out how much I needed and then cut 2 more pieces the same length. So here it is wired ribbon. I'm just kind of wrapping it around, laying it so that you still see a little bit of the wreath between the loops of the ribbon. I'm going to wrap all 3 of them and then we'll come back. So now, like I said, we're going to glue those ends of the ribbon to secure our ribbons around our 3 grapevine wreaths. Next, I'm going to take a length of a red burlap ribbon and I'm going to glue each of our 3 grapevine wreaths to this ribbon. This is going to give us a nice background and a way to hold all of them together. Coming to the bottom of our piece of burlap ribbon, we're going to fold it over and dovetail it for a nice little bottom to our hanger. And then I'm going to take some hot glue and we're going to glue those green wood letters to the center of our wreaths. I love how that fern green just pops on this red burlap ribbon. At the top of our burlap ribbon, I folded it over to make a little loop. I will most likely put a jute twine hanger in here to be able to hang this. Taking another length of the burlap ribbon, I'm folding it into a loop and then we'll tie it in the center to make a nice little bow for the top of our project. Then I'll take another small piece and folding it in thirds and gluing it. We will make kind of a finish that we can wrap around the center of our bow to cover up that jute twine. And then we'll just glue this up at the top of our project to finish it off. For a complete list of all the tools and supplies I've used in today's projects, please open up the description box below the title of this video. There, like I said, you'll find a list for each of the projects that I made. The list will have all the tools and supplies that I used and sometimes even a link where you can find them. You will also find links to my Magnolia Design Co. website and my Amazon storefront. DIY number 3 is super simple. We're going to take some scrapbook paper and one of these wood palette looking trees from Hobby Lobby, a wood star from Walmart. Now these trees come all put together, $7.99 retail, so about $4 when it's on sale. It was a little bit rough, so I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. And then I decided to go with whimsical colors of paper, but I wanted to paint the sides of my tree with white, give it a nice white background. And I did go a little bit onto the fronts in case my scrapbook paper is cut a little bit too small. and we'll also give a coat of white paint to this wood star from Walmart as well. Next, taking my 4 pieces of scrapbook paper. These were a Christmas pack from Hobby Lobby. You can see I'm going to trace each section of my palette tree onto the back of the paper that I want on that section. So you're going to do this all 4 times, just tracing and then cutting out the piece of scrapbook paper. I do cut it just a little bit bigger so that once it's dry, I can use my sander to trim it down. Then once we have our 4 pieces of paper cut out, we'll just put some Mod Podge on one section of the tree at a time, smooth that out, spritz some water on the back of our paper, and then smooth it down onto the Mod Podge. The water really does help it stick to the Mod Podge and helps eliminate a lot of bubbles. You're going to see here I'm also going to use a burnishing tool and kind of squeeze out the excess Mod Podge and really get that paper nice and secured down to the wood. And you're going to do this on all 4 sections of your tree. Then once that scrapbook paper is all dry, we're going to take our little mini sander again in a downward motion against our wood tree and clean up the edges of our scrapbook paper. I will also use it in between a little bit to clean up those spaces between each section. Now you could definitely leave the stand of your tree natural. I decided to take my truffle Waverly chalk paint and just give it a coat, make it this dark brown just around the base and around the trunk of the tree. And the last thing will be to glue our star up on the top. I will also do another layer of Mod Podge over the front of my scrapbook paper just to make sure it stays down and is a little more water resistant. I love this. It's so cute. You could definitely make it any sort of decor theme depending on the paper that you choose. If you're on Facebook and not already following my Monarch Mom DIY Facebook page, I would love it if you would hop over there, follow me. I do go live there multiple times during the week doing different projects than what I'm showing here on YouTube. DIY number 4 is also very simple. We're going to make these names of Jesus candles. I've also seen these done with sheet music. This is some scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby, 2 pillar candles from Dollar Tree, and some mini ornaments from Walmart. So I figured I needed between 7 and 8 inches to wrap all the way around the candle. So I'm cutting my 12 by 12 paper at 8 inches, and then I'm going to cut it in half height-wise, 2 pieces that are 6 inches tall. Next, just taking some hot glue, I'm going to make a line of my hot glue and line up the scrapbook paper as straight as I can on that glue, wrap it around and glue it again to secure it to the other side of the paper. Next, taking some jute twine, I'm going to put some more glue in a line, and I'm going to wrap maybe 3/4 of an inch at the top of the candle with the jute twine. I wanted to add some more farmhouse look to this, but also you're going to see where this jute twine is going to come in handy towards the end of the project. So the first time around, I do put glue all the way around. Then you'll see here I'm going to wrap above that line. Then in the back, I'm going to cross the twine down to the bottom of that starting line and do a little bit more twine. This is, of course, however much you want. You could do ribbon instead, just whatever you feel. I loved the neutral colors that I chose for this project, though, and hope you do as well. So Walmart's Christmas department always has these sets of these mini ornaments. These are just some mini tag ones. They're a little tag shape with a little black bead. I'm going to choose one that says peace and one that says joy. I thought those went really well with this Names of Jesus scrapbook paper. So to the top, I'm going to add 2 more natural wood colored beads just to make a little bit more of a substantial hanger, and I'm going to do this on both of the tag ornaments. Once I have those beads added on, I'm going to take 2 pieces of jute twine. I'm going to string the twine through the loop there of the little mini ornament, and I'm going to tie this around the jute twine that's on the top of the candle. So you can see going around it, and then I'm just going to tie it in a knot on the back and trim off the little ends. And the last thing I'm going to do for each of my candles is make a small bow. This is a tan and black mini check gingham ribbon. And again, just making a small simple bow for each of our candles. If you love budget home decor DIY videos like this, I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. That lets YouTube know that people are enjoying my content, and then they will show it to more and more viewers. Our final DIY for this video is one I've been wanting to attempt for a while, a wall tile Christmas church. I'm going to use 2 smaller and 1 large wood arrow from Dollar Tree. I'm also going to take 2 of these adhesive wall tiles, and I'm going to paint them with my white Waverly chalk paint. Just in a swirling motion, circular motion, getting into all the little nooks and crannies, and then setting these aside to dry. So I have 2 of the wood arrows that are basically this house shape. And we have to remove the string hangers from them. And then the tall one, now this is a tall one that is straight on the bottom, not with the like pointy ends like a firework. This one you have to cut it off. I could have taken the time to get those staples out, but it wasn't really necessary. So these 3 pieces are going to form our church. So now that my wall tiles are dry, I'm going to trace each of my arrows onto the back of the wall tile. Ignore that tall arrow on the left. I put it in the wrong place, but you're going to trace them, cut it out. Again, remember the wall tile is not adhesive on the entire back of it. It's only on around the edges. So hold your front and back pieces together so you can get a nice straight cut. So trace and cut all 3 of your wood arrows. Once you have all those arrows cut out, you can then hot glue them onto the front of each of your arrows. Be very careful though, the plastic is not very insulated and you will feel the heat from the hot glue through the wall tile. So I'm getting all 3 of these glued onto my arrows. Next, I have a couple of the giant craft sticks from Walmart and then a couple of large craft sticks that are just a little bit bigger than regular ones. I'm using antique wax and a baby wipe to stain these to look like dark stained wood. We're going to use these for the doors of our church as well as the roof line. In order for our church to be able to stand, I'm taking 6 of these larger Jenga blocks. These I think are from Dollar General. You see me putting 3 in a line there, but I'm going to end up breaking it off into just 2 so that it'll be hidden behind our church. So I only needed 6. I'm going to do 3 sticks that are 2 sticks long each, and we're going to glue them together kind of like stair steps. So here I'm putting 2 and 2 together on the long side, and then I'm going to stack one more stack of 2 right there. So this will be able to attach to the back of our church and it will be able to stand. Now you'll see I took some really sharp wire cutters and I cut the inside points of the 2 smaller arrows off, and that's so I can put them right next to each other and then glue the tall arrow on top. This is going to give us our dimensional church shape, and I'm just loving how this is turning out. So next we can take those sticks that we cut to size and glue them onto the roof line. I only needed one piece on the left, one on the right, and then we'll do 2 pieces at the top of our tallest arrow. Now with our 2 giant craft sticks, I put the 2 together and I kind of drew with pencil a rounded top. This is going to be the left side of our main door. There you can see it. And then I'm just going to line it up on the other one and trace it so we can get the other half of our front door for our church. So those 2 will go right there in the middle. And then with the top parts of those craft sticks, I'm just going to cut like maybe a 3-inch section of each one, and those will be our 2 side doors. And I just took one of these greenery stems or garland ties, I think they're called at Dollar Tree, and I bent it around into a circle to make a Christmas wreath for the top of our church. Just putting some glue on it and sticking that down. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pip berries and a bow to the top. I did find in my stash one of these laser cut wood crosses from Dollar Tree, so I glued that to the top. And then we're just going to glue our stand to the back of our church using some wood glue. And here it is. It's so cute. I absolutely love this. I would love to put some lights around it for Christmas. Thanks again so much for being here. Please, as always, let me know in the comments which of these projects was your favorite, and we'll see you next time. Take care.